Cell phone tower, their harmful effects on humans, animals, birds and environment. For mobile communication, mobile phones and towers use microwave as communication medium. This is the microwave in the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Cell phone technology has revolutionized the telecommunication scenario in India. Due to its several advantages, cell phone technology has grown exponentially in the last decade. The numbers of cell phones and cell towers are increasing, without giving due respect to its disadvantages. All over the world, people have been debating about associated health risk due to radiation from cell phone and cell tower. Radiation effects are divided into thermal and non-thermal effects. Thermal effects are similar to that of cooking in the microwave oven. Non-thermal effects are not well defined, but it has been reported that non-thermal effects are 3 to 4 times more harmful than thermal effects. Mobile phone operators divide a region in large number of cells, and each cell is divided into number of sectors. The base stations are normally configured to transmit different signals into each of these sectors. In general, there may be 3 sectors with equal angular coverage of 120 degrees in the horizontal direction. As this is a convenient way to divide a hexagonal cell. If number of users is distributed unevenly in the surrounding area, then the sectors may be uneven. These base stations are normally connected to directional antennas that are mounted on the roofs of buildings or on freestanding masts. The antennas may have electrical or mechanical down tilt, so that the signals are directed towards ground level. A base station and its transmitting power are designed in such a way that mobile phone should be able to transmit and receive enough signal for proper communication up to a few kilometers. Majority of these towers are mounted near the residential and office buildings to provide good mobile phone coverage to the users. These cell towers transmit radiation 24/7, so people living within tens of meters from the tower will receive 10,000 to 10 million times stronger signal than required for mobile communication. In India, crores of people reside within these high radiation zones. The picture taken from the Ashikaran building of the several antennas installed on the 7th floor of Vijay Apartments is shown in Figure 2. People living in the 6th, 7th and 8th floor in the opposite building will get maximum radiation, as they are in the main beam direction. People living on the other floors will receive lesser radiation, as beam maxima is reduced considerably, as can be observed from vertical radiation pattern. In the horizontal direction again, people living in the front side of the antenna will receive much higher radiation compared to people living in the back side of antenna. The International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation guidelines clearly state that for simultaneous exposure to multiple frequency fields, the sum of all the radiation must be taken into consideration. However, in India, we have applied this limit to individual carrier, so the radiation level exceeds by several times than even prescribed by International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation guidelines, depending upon the total number of transmitters in that area. Some of the people, especially older people, housewives, Small children living near the towers are exposed to this radiation 24 hours a day. Unfortunately, International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation has considered only the thermal effects of radiation, whereas scientists all over the world have found non-thermal effects of these radiations to have significant health effects. And these non-thermal health effects occurs at levels much below these norms. Over 100 physicians and scientists at Harvard and Boston University schools of public health have called cellular towers a radiation hazard. And 33 delegate physicians from 7 countries have declared cell phone towers a public health emergency. At many places, cell phone towers are mounted on the rooftop of residential/commercial buildings. Even though antenna radiates less power vertically down, but the distance between the antenna and top floor is usually a few meters, so the radiation level in the top 2 floors remain very high. How many people in the world are willing to put themselves, their family members, and their unborn children in an open microwave oven for 90 minutes per day? Telecom providers or policy makers can argue about body being adaptable to external threats and the radiation is spread over whole day. However, question remains, would we like to put our citizens in an open microwave oven for 90 minutes per day over the years? Also, this is only for a single source. For multiple sources, it will increase correspondingly. Thus, the safe limit adopted by India is extremely high, and millions of people are suffering because of this. Interphone study in 2010 mentions that excessive use of mobile phones has doubled to quadrupled brain tumor risk. However, they claim that for an average user, increase in cancer cases is not significant, but they have taken an average user as a person who uses cell phone for 2 hours per month. In India, many people use cell phones for 1 to 2 hours per day. Re-evaluation of the Interphone study by a group of eminent scientists has found that the risk of affected people is significantly higher than reported. Interphone study excluded children from the study. Children are at higher risk from exposures to carcinogens than adults, and today very large population of children are using cell phones, and also many of them sleep with the cell phones beneath their pillows every night without realizing the health hazards. A number of adverse health effects have been documented at levels below the FCC guidelines, which include altered white blood cells in children, childhood leukemia, impaired motor function, reaction time, and memory, headaches, dizziness, fatigue, weakness, and insomnia, etc. Figure 3 shows guidelines adopted by various countries in the top right corner, and health effects of radio frequency radiation at various power densities at much lower level. The purpose of a cell tower is that mobile phone should receive adequate signal for its proper operation. A mobile phone shows full strength at -69 dBm input power and works satisfactorily in the received power range of -80 to -100 dBm. In comparison with -80 dBm level, the measured power level at R equals 50 meters is at least 50 to 60 dB higher, which translates to 100,000 to 1,000,000 times stronger signal than a mobile phone requires. There are millions of people who live within 50 meters distance from cell towers and absorbing this radiation 24/7. Since the radiation effect on the human body is cumulative, a handheld broadband radiation monitor, frequency range of 800 to 2500 MHz, has been developed to measure the total received power. Radiation measurements were carried out in a lady's apartment, who had developed cancer within 1 year of installation of cell tower. Radiation measurements were carried out at various places in Gurgaon, Delhi and Mumbai. It may be noted that on Delhi-Gurgaon Highway Bridge after Toll Naka towards Delhi, the measured radiated power was as high as 0 dBm, which is equivalent to 70,686 W/m2, as there are 3 cell towers near the highway. Biological effects of microwave radiation. When the human body is exposed to the electromagnetic radiation, it absorbs radiation, because human body consists of 70% liquid. It is similar to that of cooking in the microwave oven, where the water in the food content is heated first. Microwave absorption effect is much more significant by the body parts which contain more fluid, water, blood, etc., like the brain, which consists of about 90% water. Effect is more pronounced where the movement of the fluid is less, for example, eyes, brain, joints, heart, abdomen, etc. Also, human height is much greater than the wavelength of the cell tower transmitting frequencies, so there will be multiple resonances in the body, which creates localized heating inside the body. This results in boils, drying up of the fluids around eyes, brain, joints, heart, abdomen, etc. The brain is protected by tight junctions between adjacent cells of capillary walls by the blood-brain barrier, which selectively lets nutrients pass through from the blood to the brain, but keeps toxic substances out. Experiments conducted on young laboratory rats found that RF from mobile phones can significantly open the blood-brain barrier in animals and cause leakage of albumin from blood vessels in inappropriate locations, neurons and glial cells surrounding the capillaries in the brain. This is shown in Figure 4 as dark dots in the exposed brain on the right side. Control animals, in contrast, showed either no albumin leakage or occasional isolated spots, as seen on the left side. The presence of albumin in brain tissue is a sign that blood vessels have been damaged and that the brain has lost some of its protection. A closer look at the cells within the brain also revealed that exposed animals had scattered and grouped dark neurons, often shrunken with loss of internal cell structures. Thank you for viewing this first episode regarding mobile towers, mobiles and their harmful effects on the environment. Broadcast of next episode will be at 21:00 hours East on the next day. There will be a total of 4 episodes on this subject, which will be live streamed at 24-hour interval. Broadcast of the next episode will be at 21:00 hours East on the next day. All are requested to spread this message by sharing as much as possible. Comments are also solicited.